Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. Welcome to church. Woke up this morning and my mind was on sunshine. We have not seen it. There's actually shadows in the area today. I don't know if it's in your area, but we have had the yellow and gray kind of June gloom with a yellow coloring on it because of the fire and the smoke and all that's been going on around that, and that has lifted a little bit today. Whew. And I just hope that the same is happening for our friends that are further north in California and up into Oregon and also in Washington, as much of the West Coast is under fire. I was trying to figure out a way to just explain the breadth, the scope of these fires and the complex that's been burning on the Oregon-California border is in an area that's roughly the size of Los Angeles. Roughly the size of Los Angeles. So if you were to come out of Simi Valley, you come across San Susana Pass, all of the San Fernando Valley, and then off across the Cahuenga Pass, all the LA Basin, down to Long Beach, down to the coast. That whole area. That's how big just one of the many fires that are on the coast of on the western states of the U.S. So our hearts go out, our prayers go out for the first responders that are out there and for all those that are having to get out of harm's way. Tough times. 2020, what a year. We are being called to a presence as we've never been called before, but the human species is so resilient, and we have been through wars, we have been through genocides, we have been through institutionalized slavery around the world, we have been through economic slavery we're seeing in parts of the world today. We will continue to move through these things as we hold to our truths and hold to our principles. Shifting gears. There's something that's been happening for us personally. I know a lot of folks that are with us, and we're welcome to everybody who's watching from wherever you are. But if you're closer in, if you've been in our sanctuary, you're part of the Simi Valley family, the tightest part of our community. Our community is wide now because of where we are with the COVID, opening us up to the Virch opportunity to share our message coast to coast and even around the world. We've had people in the United Arab Emirates watching our service, people in France watching our service, in Spain watching our service, in Mexico watching our service. So we are across the globe right now. But all of those folks at some time, many of them have been in the sanctuary, and today is Family Day. Remember Family Day? Oh my God, this 5 years ago today, is when I came to CSL Simi Valley. That's when we ushered in 3.0. Do you remember that? 3.0 is ready to launch. We gave our thanks to our founder, Dennis Merritt Jones, as we call him lovingly 1.0, and Dr. Jim Lockhart, who came in behind Reverend Dennis, Dr. Dennis, to be 2.0, and then I brought in the new era of 3.0. And we celebrated Family Day for 3 years in a row with the picnic over at the Duck Park. I think the Duck Park has an actual official name, Rancho Simi Park or something, but we'd like to think of it as a Duck Park. So for 3 years we had the picnic there at the park, which is absolutely fantastic. And then we closed out with last year having the talent show, and I am so grateful to still be here and to be able to share the message with you each Sunday. And I just welcome all of us. It was such a great time, and I look forward to us finding other ways to celebrate Family Day. This year, John Newbill showed Safety Last, silent movie. So we watched silent movie last night. Those of you that were with us, it was fantastic. It was awesome. It was hilarious. First off, it was really, really funny. But what was great is we could all kind of comment together. So we used either the chat to comment, or we actually talked, because it's a silent movie. So you can kind of talk through silent movie, and we gave our own dialogue. So it was really fun. And next time we do a movie night, I hope you will take the opportunity to join us for movie night. So holding our hearts open for those that are going through challenges and troubling times. Knowing our prayer work has an effect on bringing safety to those that are in the front lines of fighting these fires, safety to those in the front line of protecting our health and giving us health opportunities for wellness, and also holding the truth that we know that all those that are in the midst of all of these activities are having their wholeness restored on a regular and fast basis. We use our prayer for that. We share in community with things like the Family Day picnic at the Duck Park, for things like the silent movie last night, and for our Wednesday services and the classes that we participate in. All of these things are the ways that we bring our vision and our mission statement to life. So bring that statement to life in your words as we share it together right now. We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do.
Good morning. You're at Virch Church. Welcome. This is Greg
and Pat Schaefer.
To all of you joining our live Virch, which is a blend of virtual and church, it's our pleasure to share with you what's happening this week in the CSL CME's virtual world.
Hey, Greg, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Heaven.
Heaven who?
Haven't seen you in ages. We haven't seen many of you in ages, and we really miss you. Hope you're all staying healthy, safe, and well. This week's activities get underway Tuesday night at 6 p.m. with Reverend Patrick Harbula offering the second session of his brand new curriculum called Journey of the Soul. The journey began last week, but it's not too late to sign up now. The course runs for 5 weeks. To register for the class, go to bit.ly/CSL class-journey. Once you fill out the registration form, you will receive a confirmation email with all of the details, including links to the student workbook, the Zoom classroom information, and how to purchase the course text, Magic of the Soul.
Come back the next evening for the Wednesday night experience, which begins at 5:30. Join Debbie Jarvis for Yoga with Debbie. It's an hour of spiritual yoga for your mind, body, and soul. Be sure to come, since we don't want her to not have a soul there. Set up your mat in front of your laptop and type in the meeting ID. It's 878-5693-8671. The passcode is 253932. Shortly after yoga, join our friends Dean and Michelle at 7 p.m. for engaging Ikigai, allowing our essence to shine. Here's more on part 2 of the Wednesday night experience from Dean and Michelle.
Join us on September 16th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Time for our workshop, Engaging Ikigai, allowing your essence to shine.
We're going to be sharing some measurable steps that you can take to allow more of your true nature to show up in life. So join us. We're going to have a great time. We'll see you then.
The Zoom meeting ID for Ikigai is 841-9424-5079. The passcode is Love Wins, one word. No space between love and wins. Both words start with capital letters.
Our regular weekly offerings continue. Play and Learn with Dr. Susan is available on YouTube. Dr. Susan also streams live on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. through the CSL CME website.
And Monday through Friday, sign in on Facebook to catch Reverend Stephen for practicing oneness at one. He's streaming live from his personal Facebook page, weekdays, sharing inspirations and musings. Greg and I try to make this most days, and it has really helped us stay connected and add some spiritual thoughts to our day.
We also love his tangents. Our center's practitioners and ministers are always available for emotional and spiritual support. Reach out to them for prayer or any questions by visiting the center's website, look for practitioners, or call the office to leave your prayer request.
Today's service will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, CSL Simi Valley. Please let friends who miss this live broadcast know they can check us out on YouTube. The service will also be posted on the center's website homepage. It's lovely to see your Facebook comments window light up during Virch. It's a fun, interactive way to stay connected. You're also invited to post a prayer request, treatment request, and anything else you need that will be shared with our practitioners.
If you want to go a step further, record a video of giving a shout out to the community, a video selfie. Have fun with it, and we'll play it as part of this service. Email your clip to Reverend Stephen at revstephen@cslcme.org.
A few of us get together after the service to check in, catch up, and share about this morning's talk. We call it Après Virch. All are welcome. A link to Après Virch will be posted in the chat before the end of service this morning. Hey, Greg, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Let us
who?
Let us sing. Now get ready for Sherry Deeds singing Holy, Holy. During the song, we invite you to share your Virch with a friend, family member, or other loved one. Post this to their page or start a watch party. It's a simple way to stay together while apart.
Welcome to all of you viewing from wherever you are. We're so grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us this morning. Sherry Deeds, you're up.
I will read our affirmation for today, and then we'll all say it together. I use the power of doubt to discern truth, and the power of faith to know and experience the greater presence of which I am an integral part. Together, I use the power of doubt to discern truth, and the power of faith to know and experience the greater presence of which I am an integral part. My reading today is from the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes. In order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. In order to keep faith, We must allow nothing to enter our thought, which will weaken this conviction. Faith is built from belief, acceptance, and trust. Whenever anything enters our thoughts which destroys, in any degree, one of these attributes, to that extent, our faith is weakened. Our mind must be steady in its conviction that our life is some part of God, and that Spirit is incarnate in us. Affirmations and denials are for the purpose of vitalizing faith, for the purpose of converting thought to a belief in things spiritual. The foundation for correct mental treatment is perfect God, perfect person, perfect being. All sciences are built upon faith principles. All principles are invisible, and all scientific laws are accepted on faith. No one has seen God at any time, nor have they seen goodness, truth, or beauty, but none doubt their existence. So join me in consciousness now. Knowing that there is only one. There is one source. There is one substance. There is only one, and that one is divine. We are here as material and spiritual and emotional and physical expressions of that divinity. Each of us is endowed with these divine birthrights that we have of wisdom and beauty and power. So right now, we take a time to dedicate this service and our service to the divine, to each other, because we are all divine together. So we know that everything in this service, in these videos, in the news, everything happens as the divine unfolding. So that there is no good or bad, but thinking that makes it so. We look at things and know that we can't always see what's good from our current perspective, but we know that good always comes from it. That is our divine principle, that there is only good, and the good is always there, whether we see it or not. Just like when the sun is there, covered by the clouds or covered by smoke, the sun is still there. We know it. So we know the divine is always here. And that's a great comfort. It's a great blessing to us. And so we are grateful to be reminded of this. We are grateful for this center, this virtue, for the people who make it happen, for the people who watch it now and later. We are so grateful for all of this because it reminds us who we are and why we're here. Because we are here to be the eyes and ears, the hands and feet of the divine. And so from this place of wonder and awe, we give great thanks, great appreciation. We release this word to the law, and the law says, yes, it is done. And we receive this, and we affirm this when we say, and so it is.
Good morning, Simi Valley Center for Spiritual Living. It is Margaret Owens, and I am so grateful to be celebrating with you today. Until we can celebrate together again in person, I hope that you're all staying safe and that you're doing your darndest to find the joy in each moment. Mwah! I stand in the silence, deafened by the echoes of the truth that flow from this knowing, a collection of the evidence and proof to trust in creation as itself through me aligns, to know that my wanting more is selfishly divine. I am seeking my
show a temple on the ocean or a mountain kissed with snow. So many paths to God. For you are the only place to go. A being with no circumference who centers everywhere. Who asks of us only to receive the gifts it's longing to share. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am diving from the cliffs of circumstance to swim in your great abundance. I will not fight the current, but be carried into joy. I know I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. It's what's leading me, pushing me, urging me on. I am seeking my source, and my God is my source. It's my joy and my voice and my life-giving cause. I am seeking my God. I am seeking my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. It's what's leading, pushing me, urging me on. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am.
So let's go into the gap meditation, a small break in the service, a pause between our thoughts, the God awareness place, where we can make a conscious contact with the divine. Welcome back. If you enjoyed this practice, I invite you to make it part of your day anytime that you need it or anytime it comes to mind. Namaste.
Hi again. Wanted to sing to you a song about doubt and vulnerability. Therefore, I am not wearing any makeup because this is about as vulnerable as it gets. Well, maybe not, but the song is. There is no one to talk to but you. There's no friend I could call that would see me through. When the weight of my world is breaking me in two, there is no one to talk to but you. And so into the silence I go, to know everything you'd have me know. Trusting peace will bring peace, I release and let go. Deeper into the silence I go. Oh, there's a part of me here that knows perfection is right where I stand. No matter how hard the winds may blow or the storms of life may try to bend me, you're the power right here within me. There is no one to talk to but you. You're the light in the dark that will see me through. You're the peace of my soul that knows just what to do, how to find what I'm missing. Open my heart and listen. There is no one to talk to but you. No one but you.
No one to talk to but you. Thank you, Margaret Owens. What a beautiful song, and what a perfect segue into today's talk. I'm calling today's talk the Fifth Agreement. It's really because the Fifth Agreement, I think, embodies the central idea of what I want to talk about today. It is an idea, it's an experience that sits on the continuum with faith. Faith, doubt, and how they work together to reveal truth. It's a powerful thing, doubt. There's a power in it. And I think particularly in our teaching, in the Science of Mind teaching, where we speak affirmations, where we must affirm the truth, where we must stand in that truth, there's sometimes poo-poo. Doubt. No. Doubt. Hope. Oh, no. But there's something in doubt. And I think the Fifth Agreement captures that idea. I have a friend, a close person in my life, who would say from time to time, I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm always sure. Because doubt gets a bad rap. We must be sure. We have a desire inside of us to be right. The human experience is one, I don't know about you, but two words that are not my favorite words, know and wait. We don't want to be told, no, you're not right. We don't want to be told, wait, that's not the truth. We want to get it right here, right now, particularly from the American experience. You want a pill, you want to drop the pill, you want to get well. The headache, go away. Instantaneous cure. Doubt, however, is a road to that song. No one to talk to but you. Doubt is the opportunity for us to talk to the you, to move beyond assumptions. We know what it means when you don't assume, right? Don't assume, right? We all know that. Cut the word up, spell it, look at it, you see what it says. When we assume something, many times what we're actually doing is we're looking for drama where no drama exists. But if we understand that there is this thing that is calling us, there's something inside that's saying, this doesn't feel exactly right, that's doubt. And the fifth agreement says, listen to that doubt. The fifth agreement says, be skeptical and learn. Listen to learn. Be skeptical and listen to learn. No one to talk to but you. Ask the you with the capital Y about you, the small y. What is the doubt leading me to? It's part of practicing the other four agreements. What are they? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. Don't make the assumptions and always do your best. Perhaps doing our best includes making an assumption that the doubt is something I need to listen to, and to take it personally, to be impeccable with my word, is to ask the questions that come from the doubt and to listen. I think that's why the Ruizes, because it was Don Miguel Ruiz and his son, Jose, that wrote the fifth agreement. I think it's what led them to that. They moved into that space of, I got these four agreements, but then something's not right. They had the power in their doubt to be skeptical that those four were not the only truth and that there may be something more. When we're standing in that space, when you say amen, the place in where I stand is what I believe in, when you say that, but then something else goes, that's doubt. And it's okay to listen to it and to ask the question and to learn to listen for the answer and learn to listen for the answer. And there's power in it. Miguel Ruiz says in his Fifth Agreement book, he says that the result of practicing the fifth agreement is the complete acceptance of yourself just as you are, the complete acceptance of everyone else just as they are. But let me put that back on again. The result of practicing the fifth agreement is the complete acceptance of yourself just as you are, and the complete acceptance of everyone else just as they are. But see, here's where there's a key to making that work, because you think just as they are, but the way they are, no, see, it's just as they are right now. Just as we are right now. Because life is about change and evolution. And the point in where we stand right this moment will change in the next now moment. That's what the process theology is about, around the idea of process thinking. And we won't get into all of that because that's a whole talk all in its own. But what I'm saying is that every moment exists as a packet in time, and then the next moment emerges from that. So everything is just right, just as you are in this moment, and then the next moment we get to move. And the way we get to move is we get to rely on the symbols in our lives, but sometimes we rely too much on those symbols. The symbols, I mean, by the words that we use. Every word that we use represents an idea. So that word becomes a symbol to point to the idea. And we respect those words sometimes without question, particularly when we're all in our head. But there are times that we're in our head about concepts and ideas, but another voice in the heart. As David White says, or maybe it's Rumi's poem, the ear in my chest. If I can listen to the voice in my heart, then I can move to a bigger experience of life. Years ago, maybe 15 years ago or so, there was a guy named Jonathan Wilson Hargrove, grew up in North Carolina, in the hills of North Carolina, in a culture where the symbols in his culture said certain things about different kinds of people. His symbols within his church said a concept who was an evangelical Christian, that said the concepts of love your neighbor as thyself, but in his church he only saw himself. He didn't see his neighbors. He didn't see the vast diversity of his community represented on Sunday morning. As they say, Sunday morning, the most segregated day in the time of America. That he was experiencing that, but he believed in his faith. He wanted to be a preacher, so he joined a group. Jonathan Wilson Hartgrove is his name. He joined a group, and they went to the capital, to Raleigh, and they were part of a Christian movement that was taking place. And a speaker came, a guy named Reverend William Barber, and he spoke liberation theology. He spoke a progressive Christianity to this young man, and he heard something that put together what he was hearing in his pews and what he's feeling in that heart voice, and they came together, and his doubt that said something's not quite right about this message was answered in William Barber. So he said to Mr. Barber, he said to Reverend Barber, "Could you come and speak to my church?" And here's a young 16-year-old boy, and Reverend Barber, knowing North Carolina the way he did, knowing the Hill community that he came from, figured that he could say yes, because the answer was yes, if you can get your pastor to agree to have me come. And he figured that's an easy yes to say, because this pastor's not going to have Reverend William Barber, a big black man, come to his all-white church in the hills of North Carolina. But young Jonathan was very persuasive, and the pastor said, okay. And William Barber went to speak, and it changed the course of that church when those two communities came together as one. They revealed a new truth, and it all came from looking at symbols and seeing that the symbols didn't quite work, and then, that's Shao in the background. He may want to talk to us a little bit. He's wanting to get into he likes this idea around the symbols and changing the symbols. So what happened for Barber and Hartgrove is they revealed a new truth. They revealed a new symbol. And in that new symbol of unity, fresh energy came out. So when we hold on to some concepts that are not working for us, but our head voice says, stick with that voice that says, I may be right, I may be wrong, but I must be sure, the one that doesn't like to hear no, that doesn't want to live in doubt, that only wants to live in faith and truth, and sometimes the false truth, that drains. That drains if you don't accept the voice that's coming through. But something happens when you answer that voice. Don Miguel Ruiz labeled it like this. I love this quote. He says, when you find out that Santa Claus isn't the truth, we no longer believe in Santa Claus. And the power we invested in that symbol returns to us. You see, when we put power into old symbols that are not true, they're draining power from us to create our better good, to create a newer, joyous experience of life. So the idea here in the fifth agreement is to be skeptical sometimes of the things that aren't hitting on the heart voice, and to ask the questions and listen to learn that you might have to say, Reverend Barber, come speak at my all-white church. Bring your truth of liberation theology to my church. And then a new symbol is realized and fresh energy is brought into it, because in truth, shift is going to happen. But it begins on the inside with listening to these messages that are saying, I don't know. And then once you listen, then the great allower, as Richard Rohr calls God, and I think Ernest Holmes would be so in line with that idea, the great allower, the law of the universe is the great allower. Electricity doesn't care whether it cooks your toast or puts somebody or electrocute somebody. It doesn't care if you're gonna plug in the light bulb or shock yourself. It's still electricity. God's like that. People say, what is happening in our world today? How could God allow this to happen? Because God doesn't care. Truthfully, it allows us to care. We are the caring arm of God. We are the compassionate arm that begins to shift and change and shape the world. We don't make anything. It's all already here. But what we do is we allow and permit through our consciousness, through our mental condition, for it to happen. It's our natural imperative to create from all that is around us. Look at what has happened look at what's happened to us since March. It was early March, and when we got the order that churches could not meet in person anymore. And what happened? We're still church, but we came and we created this virtual world and put all these elements together, and we took church and we put it in the virtual world, and we created Virch. And now we're still here, 5 years later and 9 months later or 6 months later. Let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months later, we're still here, growing stronger and spreading our message in many ways that we were not able to do when we were in our sanctuary. But we're still community. We're still family. It's still family day. But it happened because we understood that the permission to do and create is part of our natural imperative. And sometimes that permission, the knock, knock, knock of the... That's so interesting. Did you love the knock, knock jokes? So the knock, knock, knock of the listening begins with answering, who's there? Doubt. Doubt who? Doubt this, whatever. Finish it yourself. But the point is, when we have faith in this idea that the doubt is nothing to run from or to be afraid of, it's something to learn and listen from, we can grow and expand. Faith is one of my favorite acronyms. Faith, finding answers in the heart. Can we listen to the heart voice? Faith, finding answers in the heart. Can we have luck, labor under correct knowledge? I love acronyms. They're so fun. Radar, radio detection and ranging. Now, yes, they took the R and the A from radar to radio to make radio detection and ranging. Radar, that's a good one. Or GIF. It's actually GIF. People want to say GIF, but it's GIF. Graphics interface format. The guy who created it was this graphics computer guy. I can't remember his name right now, but to sell this idea in his lab, they would say, choosy developers choose GIF, graphics interface format. But graphics starts with a hard G, so it could be GIF. If you look in the dictionary, it's either one. But I like GIF. Choosy developers choose GIF. The other side of that is initialisms, like DVD and LOL. Those aren't acronyms. Those are initialisms. When you say the letters, that's an initialism. When you say the word, that's an acronym. But back to faith. Back to finding answers in the heart. Faith is thought consciously moving. This is the way Ernest Holmes defines it. Faith is thought consciously moving, definitely and specific for a purpose, and then accepting the outcome of that purpose. It's not just the thought moving definitely for a specific purpose. It's also accepting the outcome of that purpose. That's when we're in faith. We got a thought, we got an idea, and the idea has a destination, and the destination is true. I'm accepting that truth, and that is the heart of faith right there, my friends. Now, here's where Dr. Holmes is so interesting. I love what he says in Science of Mind, because we think about cause and effect as if that's a linear movement. He sees cause and effect, and really get this down. This is going to deepen your prayer demonstrations, I think, if you can hold this truth in your heart. Cause and effect are one. They are unified. There's no separation between the two. They're actually on the same continuum, part of an experience of wholeness. This is a really great way that he describes it right here. Let's see when I get that one. Oh, here we go. Here's this question. Does a seed you plant operate upon the soil, or does the soil operate upon the seed? This is Dr. Holmes. I don't know. But when they get together, something happens. When they get together, something happens. See, that's having faith. It's like knowing that the idea I have has an outcome in mind, and they are together, and one operates on the other, and the other operates on the one. That's the revelation of truth, and that's what we must use in our Science of Mind. We must use our know-how. We must use our teaching to demonstrate a better life for ourselves. What's it all about if we're not going to make it happen? What's it all about to come here every Sunday for Verge if you're not going to go out and practice this stuff? That's why it's called religious science, because we do experiments, we practice, and we demonstrate the truth of our life. There's no sense in learning the purpose if we don't learn it. No reason to learn how to dance if you're not going to dance. There's no reason to learn how to sing if you're not going to sing. There's no reason to learn how to write if you're not going to write. And there's no reason to have faith if you're not going to demonstrate your truth. Will Rogers says, if you want to be successful, it's just this simple. Know what you are doing. Love what you are doing. Believe in what you are doing. Know what you're doing, love what you're doing, believe in what you're doing. The science of mind helps us to know what we're doing in this thing called life. It gives us the tools necessary to believe in this thing called life. And then we get to experience this thing called life. It worked for Jonathan Wilson Hartgrove and William Barber. They changed the course of their church, and they began a lifelong friendship that has lasted now for another 15 years. And who knows? They're both young men. It can go a lot longer. It's worked for our Vert service. It's brought us a new way of bringing church to the community that we'll continue to find in the future. Who knows how it's going to unfold when we do come back into the sanctuary. We'll come back into the sanctuary and we will continue to hold our group that's come together from all over the different places of the world, because it's going to up-level our production value when we come back into the sanctuary. Everything is unfolding for good, and it's, as Rob said in his prayer, it is unfolding for good. It's the universe unfolding in time and space, and sometimes that unfolding takes place when we answer the question of, why doesn't this feel right? What is this doubt all about? When we ask and listen and be willing to allow. Willing to allow. And then to build on that allowance by logging our successes. You know, practitioners have to get their licenses renewed every couple of years. And one of the way they renew their licenses is they keep a log of every time that they're doing treatment work. It's anonymous. It's their own personal depth of understanding, their own personal way to deepen in their spiritual truth, right? And so they keep this log. Says, I prayed over this truth for this person, and it realized in this way. It experienced out in this way. And that spiritual practice of logging their successes deepens their strength as practitioners. They're just licensed practitioners. We're all practitioners of the Spirit. We're all practitioners of science of mind. So when you're thinking about where that faith is coming together, where conscious moving thought is meeting its purpose and its outcome at the same time, and then you see that show up in your life, log that in your journal. Deepen your understanding and apply faith. Apply the finding of the answers in the heart, and be a bat. Believe, accept, and trust. Don't be like the little boy on the roof and throw it away. You know, the little boy was on the roof, and he's working on the roof, and he's working up there with his dad, and he starts to slip off the roof, and he says, "Oh, God, save me," as he's about to fall off the edge. And just then a nail catches his shorts and holds him up on the roof. And what does he say? "Oh, never mind, God, I'm okay." No. The universe is ready to save us. Let's have the faith and the trust and the belief that it is that it is this bigger thing that we are a part of that's working in tandem for our good in all ways. Faith is the great vehicle for the great allower to work in our life. As Dr. Holmes says, I live in faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways I could not even imagine. And sometimes the doorway to those ways that we cannot even imagine begin in doubt. And that's when we get to apply the fifth agreement. Be skeptical, ask a question, listen, and learn. And so it is. Join me as we say our affirmation for today. Here it is. I use the power of doubt to discern the truth, and the power of faith to know and experience the greater presence of which I am an integral part. It is now time for our healing prayer moment. So I ask you in this moment to just settle in to your spiritual awareness station at your own home or wherever you happen to be. If you're at a coffee shop, wherever your internet connectivity is working to bring you the service. And join me now as we know the truth. There's one life. That life is God. That life is you, that life is me, that life is everything around us. And it is in this moment of understanding, in this moment of reaching deep into that heart that listens and asks and receives the answers, that I receive this answer for each and every one of us. That we are one in the mind of God, unified in this experience called life. That we answer the questions of the heart by standing in faith and knowing that the great allower brings into our experience what is right and perfect for our highest and best good to unfold. And we see that unfoldment in the demonstrations of life. We see that unfoldment as the right and perfect relationship developing for us. We see that unfoldment in the harmony coming together when two sides seem to be far apart. We see that unfoldment taking place when right action brings us to the perfect answer and the perfect solution. We see that unfolding when prosperity and abundance land into our pocket in ways that we had no idea, because we kept ourselves open for the allowance of Spirit to deliver to us, knowing that there are many vehicles to deliver our good, and we are simply the channels that receive it. We have our cups wide open, and we say, yes, thank you, Spirit, for all the good that you bring into our world. We ready ourselves for unexpected pleasures and treasures, knowing that those are really not unexpected at all, but are simply digging that much deeper into our intentionality, into our unconscious being, which is why we do our spiritual work to reveal the deep beliefs and wash them out so that they become pure and solid and right and purposive in our lives. We are in process, and the process unfolds in love and in joy and in goodness. It sometimes looks like pain, sometimes looks like hurt, but remember, that's only here right now. And in the next now moment, we begin anew, a beginning. Standing in the truth of this statement, I say thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Divine Presence. Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for the power of the divine moving as law in our lives. I release it here and let it be. And so it is. Thank you for that moment. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for the last 5 years. I look so forward to extending the time and doing more with our spiritual community. Let me take you back, looking down at the next sequence here. Let's bring Margaret Owens back for another song. Here she is, Margaret Owens.
Keep clear before me the moments of my high resolve, when the dust and grit of the journey seem to keep me just a little too involved in the things I fear I'm missing and the questions I can't solve. Keep me pressing on, Lord, keep me pressing on. Unearthing these blocks of fear that for whatever reason they seem so big, and all the pretty people that you place before me wanna grab a shovel and help me dig. Now I don't always wanna thank them, wish they'd find another gig. Still I keep pressing on, Lord, keep me pressing on. Keep clear before me all the moments when I've known the truth, when I knew I held your power within me and never had to ask for proof. Grant me the courage to remember who I am, and the wisdom to forgive myself if I should miss the mark and need to try again. Keep clear before me the moments of my high resolve, like a gentle seeds of clarity that lie within me waiting to evolve, and the fears born in the darkness and the daylight they dissolve. Keep me pressing on, Lord, keep me pressing on. Turbulent waters flow upon the riverbed of my existence as I move forward to the sea. And rather than clinging to the rocks of doubt, my defy resistance. I let the waters carry me. Let 'em carry me. Keep clear before me the moments of my high resolve, when the dust and grit of the journey seem to keep me just a little too involved in the things I fear I'm missing and the questions I can't solve. Keep me pressing on, Lord. Keep me pressing on. Pressing on, Lord, keep me pressing on.
Now we will be contemplating abundance with a quote from Ellen Grace O'Brien. True prosperity is less about having than it is about being and its process becoming. It's the spiritual journey of becoming in fullness that which we are in potential. Awakened to our previously dormant inner power and promise, we actualize it, live with higher purpose, and become wealthy in all ways. Let's do this again. True prosperity is less about having than it is about being and its process, becoming. It's the spiritual journey of becoming in fullness that which we are in potential. Awakened to a previously dormant inner power and promise, we actualize it, live with higher purpose, and become wealthy in all ways.
Now it's time for us to do our giving affirmation that we do each week. Join me at home as we say this together. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL Simi Valley. Now, let me hear it. Divine love is victorious.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender. I surrender. I am one in the spirit around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I trust in God.
God is the source and substance of our supply. God is the substance of what we need, of what we want, desire, have. God is what we have. The great givingness of God itself is us giving to each and every one of ourselves. We are grateful for the opportunity to give, to be in divine flow, and so it is.
Hi, everyone. Here we are at the end of the service, ready for our recap. But before we do that, let's just take a moment and sit in gratitude. So I ask you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Say, inhale to count of 5, exhale to count of 5. And while you're doing that, thank yourself for being here this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you're watching the service. But thank yourself for showing up. And then, silently to yourself, or out loud because you're at home, thank each and everyone in the community for showing up. Because the community keeps showing up regardless of what is happening, we benefit from each other, we grow together, we support each other, and each and every person plays an important role. Then you take another deep breath and you thank yourselves for inviting in Reverend Stephen 5 years ago. And you thank Reverend Stephen for answering the call. And you take another deep breath and you bring it back to yourself. And then use your ear in your heart to listen to the recap of today. So the title of today's talk was The Fifth Agreement. The fifth agreement is be skeptical and learn to listen. We learned that doubt is the opportunity to go beyond assumptions. We ask the questions that come from the doubt and learn to listen. And in that, we practice acceptance of ourselves and others. Acceptance is key. We learn that when we use the ear and our chest, we can see the greater picture. We're asked to be skeptical of old symbols so that energy can be freed and new concepts can be embraced. We're asked to release old ideas, and that releasing old ideas starts by listening to our heart and allowing for the shift to take place. Allowing because everything is already here. Everything is already available. When we hear knock knock, we answer with who's there? We answer with faith, knowing we'll find answers in the heart. The revelation of truth starts with a thought or an idea, which brings us to our destination. But in truth, no pun intended, the thought and idea and the destination are one. Cause and effect are one. Ask, listen, be willing to allow, and trust. We need to practice the principles we believe in and apply faith, and then notice what results show up in our lives. Thank you, everybody. As soon as I put the mic down, I'll post a link for Après Verge.
Thank you, Reverend Johanna. Beautiful. Yes, Après Verge coming up, and also we've come to the close of our service. We've got some really wonderful things coming up in the next few weeks. We have High Holy Days coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll be talking about that. We've got a number of interviews happening in October. I'm really excited about what's going to be happening, what we'll be bringing through our Verge service for you so that we can shift things up and keep it fresh while we continue to stay in safe distancing. We're also going to have some really wonderful community events coming up, so keep your eye on the Constant Contact e-blast that comes out each week with updates on things to do, like the great silent movie that we had last night, Safety Last. Harold Lloyd was hilarious. It was really wonderful. All right, so it's time for our closing benediction. Join me as we say this together. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
Hey, Simi Valley, we're grateful that you're here. This is from Floyd Lula.
We love you. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflow in us and decorate this place. As it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, may we always be seeking out the best till we all are free. Living in a world we've been dreaming of, where we stand as one in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, 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 oh yeah, in the name of love, 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 in the name of love. Peace and blessing. We love you.
See you next week.